I'm really proud of our grit, toughness, resiliency, all the things that we've been talking about probably since after we lost to Washington State at Washington State. And it's kind of come full circle back to Washington State. It's funny how things work. And had the adversity, knowing that we had lost a couple of tough games against really good teams, and we bounced back. And just it's been an amazing journey to coach Mickey Mitchell and Rob Edwards. They've been great kids for the program, have really elevated the program significantly by not only their play, but their attitude and their work ethic and their habits. And I hope that the younger guys are watching those guys as they go about their business and how they conduct themselves. And you saw it on the floor today. And, Mickey in the first half with a big offensive rebound to Remy, who needed to hit a shot and get himself going, and that was, I thought, a really big play for Mickey. And then we were, we just couldn't score, and Mickey went in there and was tough, got the ball and scored on the putback, and I thought got us back in a flow on offense just by seeing the ball go through the basket one time. And then Rob, he was saddled with some fouls and had to work through, but he guarded Ellerby quite a bit and did a great job guarding him, and then hit the big three in the left corner, which I think put us up 5 late in the game. So it's fitting that those two players had their imprints all over a huge game that was needed. And every team is the difference, I think, maybe in some prior years, and there may never be a question because I'm just going to keep talking, but top to bottom, the league is very feisty and competitive. And I watched the film of Washington State lose to UCLA at UCLA in overtime a couple of weeks ago, and beat Washington at Washington. So I know that it was going to be a tough game, and I thought we showed a lot of guts. And if you looked at the other games today, it's there's a lot of competitive games down to the wire, and that's what you hope for this time of year because you're going to have to win those kind of games in postseason. So great way to finish, get 20 wins again, and 11 wins in the conference. Really happy for our team and what we've been through and where we are now.
Do you think nerves played some kind of role for the slow start?
What's that?
Nerves played a role in the slow start?
It's hard to judge that. I don't really. If the first few minutes feel like a blur, I know that we fell behind. I think 12-4, but then kind of got back in it quickly after that.
Went to a smaller lineup when you had Graham and White with 2 fouls, and that seemed to give you guys a spark and work well on the offensive end.
Yeah, I mean, I had no choice. Anytime you have 2 guys at a position and they both have 2 fouls, it was you have to have a plan B. So we were juggling some different guys. I actually pointed that out to the team. Most people look at the end of the game and in the second half, but in the first half, just the minutes and I know Jalen House and Graham didn't play a lot in the second half. Khalid not in the second half, but those guys in the first half collectively, did some really nice things for us to, when Rob was on the bench and Romello and Jalen Graham.
What about their stretch when they went to the zone? It seemed like that kind of changed the game somewhat.
Yeah, they don't play it the way Washington does. I don't think it's as effective as what we faced. So I thought we would have handled it a little better, and I think we did have some open shots, but we took a couple, I thought, forced wild layups that we didn't need to take, and we had a couple of bad turnovers, and then game pressure starts to creep in, and but it's tough. I even said that once you lose that big of a lead, usually teams might mail it in and just go down the tubes, but our team has got a ton of character and didn't fold.
What is the securing a first-round bye in Vegas next week? Just what is the importance of that?
I mean, I know Oregon did it last year, but it's really difficult to win 4 straight days in an event, and the physical toll and the mental toll, and so it's I think a big advantage. I think, and where we were, going into that UCLA game, I think we deserved to be in there. So we managed to, everything played out so that we are in that position. But yeah, that's. I mean, I was just saying something in the locker room. I have more national championships than ACC tournament championships. So, it's when you get those 2 games a week that you need to focus on and a day in between, and then you reset the week, and trying to go to the well 3 straight days even is not an easy thing.
What did you see from Remy Martin the last 48 hours from a pretty tough game of Thursday to what I played today?
I thought some of those threes that he hit, were needed in the first half. There was one where he had, a lot of passion and fire after he made it. So it was just, tremendous to see him, hit a couple of shots. He's too good of a player not to for any extended period of time. And, we're kind of isolating one game, so people are attacking him. They're just like, just out of their mind. But that's the world we live in. We live in like a day-to-day world or a week-to-week world. And we forget how many games that guy has helped Arizona State basketball win. And, he had 30 points at UCLA in a game we lost at the buzzer. And, so it's not like he's been playing bad for a few games. It was kind of one situation. So, but he handled it well, and he made his free throws for us late too, and did a great job.
What was your strategy on Hurley? Obviously, he had not a good shooting night. So what did you do on him to keep him really effective?
We just wanted to crowd him as much as we can. You notice if you watch him, if you let him get his rhythm dribbles and you let him get his step backs and you're not in his space disrupting him, then he's gonna comfortably make shots. And he did that against us a couple of times in our first game, and we really wanted to try and take away as much space as we could from him.
How encouraging was Tayshaun's defensive efforts?
Yeah, I mean, Tay has been solid in that department. I know that he ended up fouling out and maybe had a couple of reach-in fouls that he shouldn't have had, but he's been terrific at that end of the floor.
Were you guys paying attention to the earlier Pac-12 games and aware that a win would get you the bye?
I mean, we finished shoot around and the games were on and people were flowing through watching, and it's always better. I mean, I think it was just to maybe have an idea of where you might stand if things break your way. At the same time, though, I mean, if we don't handle our business, then it doesn't matter what those teams are doing.
Between the win streak and then limping in a bit down the stretch here, where are you at confidence-wise with this group?
Yeah, I mean, we won. I look at it like we've won 8 out of 11, so I wouldn't call that limping in. But I mean, we've lost two road games to 2 teams that just went toe-to-toe today, and it was like a war out there. And then anyone that sees Washington the way they played against us the other night, I feel bad for them. So I think we'll be fine. I think we needed to win. I think once you've lost a couple, you need to prove to yourself again that you can win these kind of games. So I think it's a good momentum boost, heading into Vegas.
So Romello White lost his grandmother, I think, going into last week maybe. What was kind of his emotion going through that?
It was tough. He was at my house on Sunday, and he wasn't aware yet. And we, Coach Berno and I and his mom got on a call, and he was aware at that point, and they were very close. And she was so proud of him and what he was doing. And as she was battling her illness, she would listen to the games, in the hospital, and it gave her so much joy to see him playing and doing so well. So it was, for him, he was, kind of an emotional, mess for a couple of days, and we really just, had to, be in touch with him a lot, talk to him a lot. A lot of people helped, Coach Berno, myself, our whole staff. Gene Boyd, came in and talked to Romello. So it was a group effort to help him, and then he got on a red eye after Thursday's game and flew back to South Carolina, and then was there to view the body, and then flew back last night. So I don't know how much he's even slept, and just testament to his, just how much he loves his teammates, how much of a competitor he is, how tough he is to be able to go out and perform the way he did with everything that's on his mind.
So what day did he find out?
It was Sunday of this past Sunday. Yeah.
Going back to Rob and Mick here, how much did their resiliency in overcoming their surgeries sort of help the team's mentality throughout the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's again, the message was like, try and be courageous like they've been. They've been about like battling through adversity, both of those guys with major injuries, tremendous work ethic, great habits, like winning habits, and so like, let's try and do that as a team today and honor them out on the floor by performing the way they deserve to have the entire team perform, because they've been like as important as any, like Zylan Cheatham, Trey Holder, Cody Justice, Shannon Evans, Ludo. They're in that whole category, these two guys, with really elevating what we've been doing here at Arizona State the last couple of years.
Guys, good? Do you feel like that regardless of what happens in Vegas, that you guys are solidly in?
I mean, we haven't had one quad 3 or quad 4 loss, and we have a number of quad 1 wins and quad 2 wins. So, I mean, I can't say like 100%, but I mean, I would imagine we are. I mean, we've had a great year. We've been a great story. We have one of the best, most dynamic players in college basketball that the country should get a chance to see. And Remy wants that stage. And he's, again, if they voted for Pac-12 Player of the Year before we went to UCLA, people would have a hard time not giving him the award. That's how good he's been. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that we're in, but now we have to go and perform and try and win a championship.